Hey everybody, the day is November 28th, which is Thanksgiving Day, and we'll be looking at November 27th's MTG stocks. This is a little bit late, but that's fine. I'm gonna move on from that. You can see, not too many big increases. A lot of cards that are probably a little bit more well known, but we'll still go over them because we have not looked at them quite yet. So in the first big price increase for the day is our Thran Dynamo. I love this card. I put this in a lot more decks. I mean, it was about $5 for a while, but I think I reprinted, so it went back down to about $3.50. And maybe with this other reprint from the mystery boosters, it seems like then it looks like it's getting down to about 3 something. So not bad. What it is a 4 colorless artifact, and you can tap it and add 3 colorless. This is a pretty good mana ramp card. I'd say this isn't like Soul Ring. I wouldn't put this in every deck. It's probably a little bit more situational. What those situations probably depend on more is, can you really use that mana? And depends on your commander as well. Like if you're trying to get your commander out a lot, Thran Dynamo might be okay, but I feel like this is going to probably fit more like artifact decks or X decks, so like where you're trying to like increase the cost of X, or kicker decks, or maybe just higher costs in general. But if you put this in any deck, I think it's still fine. It's just if you're willing to put it in there, like I mean, $4 isn't awful. I mean, that's about the price of a Soul Ring nowadays. But regardless, I mean, like I'd probably put it in every deck if I could, because I'm more casual, and I would say in a more competitive sense, this is not the kind of card you're looking for. It's probably a little bit too slow. But yeah, I've always liked this card. I'm gonna go to our next card of the day, which is Demonic Tutor. This is a fairly well-known card, I think, I would say. But this was the wrong image, by the way. This was for I believe this was in a dual deck. I think it's like Demonic versus Blessed or something like that. So this is the one that increased and not the Ultimate Masters one. But what it does is it's 1 colorless, 1 black, sorcery. Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. So this is, I don't know if this was the first tutor, but it was definitely one of the first tutors. That's for sure. It all appeared all the way back in alpha. So, and the alpha art's pretty great. It's like a little demon. It's something. So I'd probably say this was the first tutor, and that's pretty much where the tutor term comes from. I can only assume, but it's a very powerful card, and especially in competitive, if you're going competitive. Having the access to any card in your deck for 2 mana with no drawbacks is pretty crazy. This is, and I mean, black has a lot of tutors, but this is like, if you are a black player and you can't afford it, this is probably the card that you will want to buy. Maybe not first, but first if you could. Depends on, like, my favorite black card is Gravecrawler, so that'd probably be the first one I would get if I had to choose between black cards. But this is one of the cards that I wouldn't mind having someday in my life. I do not have one currently that I know of, but yeah. Next one here. This is a card I do own. And it's funny because like when I had it, I was just like, whatever, it is a whatever card. But it's fairly pretty good. As you can see in the price here, this has been that price for quite a while. But so what he does, Rise of Redeemed, is a green or white cost legendary creature elf warrior, a 1/1, 2 colorless, 1 green or white, tap, put a 1/1 green and white elf warrior creature token into play. Then for 4 colorless, green or white, tap, for each creature token you control, put a token into play that's a copy of that creature. So basically, if for a commander, he's pretty good. I mean, you can basically do a populate deck or just a token deck in general, generate a lot of tokens, and then tap them and you make double of everything. This kind of reminds me of Krinko, the one that allows you to double your goblins, but this one is, if you have the mana, which in green should be a little bit easier, but if you have the mana, more powerful because you can create copies of 10/10 creatures if you have them, or 10/10 tokens, I should say, if you have them. Yeah, he can be very good for a token deck, that's for sure. And as a commander, people like him pretty well too. This last one here is actually a price lowering, which this is interesting because I didn't know this one really spiked up to that much, but it's now back at 7, which is pretty much where it was the last time I checked it. So I guess it spiked up, and I was like, and no one really cared about it that much. But I do like this card quite a bit. Cage Sun is a 6 colorless artifact. As when it enters battlefield, choose a color. So let's say you choose red. Creatures you control of the chosen color get +1/+1. So all your red creatures get +1/+1. Whenever a land's ability adds 1 or more mana of the chosen color to your mana pool, add 1 additional mana of that color to your mana pool. So if you tap a mountain, or if you tap anything that gives a red mana, like a Painland, the Rakdos Painland, for instance, then you get to add another red to it. This probably isn't great for every commander deck. For a tricolor deck, I would say, unless you're heavily skewed, like I can be in green, for instance, if you're heavily skewed in one color, Cage Sun could be okay. In 2 colors, it's probably a little bit more feasible, but I think this really shines in monocolor decks because all your lands are going to probably produce that unless it's colorless. But like I have a mono black deck, where I have Josu Ves, the Lich Knight, I believe is his name, and basically you want to get his kicker cost as fast as possible. With Cage Sun, you have 5 swamps out or something, 4 or 5 swamps out, Cage Sun, now your swamps are tapping for 2 more mana each, and so by turn 5 or 6, you can have Josu Ves come out, kicked, put in 8 2/2 knights and himself, and you can keep steamrolling from there, and it's pretty nice. But like I said, this is probably dual color is probably okay. Monocolor is best. Anything above that, you're kind of risking it, I would say. Then we're going to go to our Commander of the Night, and like I said last time, I'm going to be showing Rakdos, Lord of Riots, since I kind of mentioned it. So what he does is, he is a 2 black, 2 red, legendary creature demon. He's a 6/6, and you can't cast him unless an opponent lost life this turn. So this is really good for like the new kind of Ravnica theme with Spectacle. And basically the Spectacle thing was like if someone lost life, then you can cast it for a Spectacle cost, which is generally cheaper or gives you a better effect. And then there's a lot of cards that allow you to like ping everybody for 1 at the beginning of your upkeep or something like that, which would allow you to then cast Rakdos. The other cool thing about Rakdos, Lord of Riots, of course, is creatures you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. So if you had like, I don't know if you would go aristocrats in this, you probably can, but it would probably make a lot of sense. But so if you have Zulaport Cutthroat, for instance, and you sacrifice a creature, Zulaport Cutthroat will deal 1 damage to each opponent. That means it'll do 3 damage total, and Rakdos will make all your creatures cost 3 less, which is pretty crazy. And you could probably do some really dumb combos with it, and it seems pretty fun. I also will mention, now that I'm kind of looking at it a little bit more, I like his artwork a lot. Rakdos looks pretty awesome here. He has a big old scythe, he has a scythe. That's awesome. I wish he was blue color as well, because I'm trying to make a Grixis artifact deck, but good to know that he has a big old scythe. Awesome. Anyways, but he looks very strong in this picture, and he's basically mowing down people. Hello, Moon. Yeah, awesome card. I would like to make this deck one day, I think. I'll probably look into that for sure. And then kind of for our random card, my random card for the night, since it's Thanksgiving, we have to give a little bit of thanks here, and we're going to be looking at Birds of Paradise. Besides just being a bird, he has some other things that I'd like to show, but Birds of Paradise is 1 green. He's a creature. He's a bird. He has flying, and you tap and you add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and it's 0/1. This is basically, if you have a green deck and you can afford a Birds of Paradise, you're probably going to put it in there. This is a very good mana ramp card. This is great for monocolor that's great for a 5-color. Having flying early lets you either buff him and lets you get through, or allows you to block off flyers that are very annoying. He's very versatile and great in a lot of ways. But the reason why I chose this one is, besides just being a bird, is long ago birds of paradise littered the skies. Thanks to this city sprawl, most now exist as pets of society's elite. See, we have little things in here. So, gotta get that in there. Then we will go ahead and end off tonight with a couple of random cards as always. Random card numero uno, Elephant Token. It is Elephant Token. That's it. What do I think about the artwork? He's a strong old elephant that's taking down a whole tree for some reason, and he has glowy eyes. I don't know why he's doing that. This is from Modern Horizons, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure. We'll probably get another one in there. Let's go to random card number 2. Phyrexian Vault is a 3 colorless artifact. Pay 2, sacrifice a creature, draw a card. For sacrifice outlet, like let's see, draw a card. Not that bad. There's better stuff, I'm pretty sure. But for a budget deck that's looking for a sacrifice outlet, not really too shabby, really. Yeah. I don't think I've really seen this before. At least I haven't mentally taken note of it. But yeah, that's good for like a Aristocats, just sacrifice outlet or anything on a budget. So nice. And we'll get one more in there, as said. Mana War. 2 colorless, 1 blue, creature jellyfish. When this enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner's hand. So for like a flicker deck, this is okay. This allows you to, I think it should have flying, even though it doesn't probably make sense. But I feel like it should have something like a little bit more. It's a common card, so maybe that's why it doesn't have anything more than that. But for a 3 mana 2/2, allows you to return it to a target's hand. I mean, that's okay. It's basically like, I don't think it's called Evacuation Notice. I feel like that is a different game. But I think it's like a 2 mana, convert a mana cost card that allows you to return a creature. So this is basically pay 1 or more mana and get a 2/2 creature. But like I said, with a flicker deck, this isn't bad because you can potentially just really shut down purse, and that's going like Voltron, or if someone just has big creatures, you can just keep returning them that way. So not a terrible card. I would potentially put this in my Anamoto deck. Anamoto allows you to flicker easily, and yeah, artwork wise, it's kind of interesting. I think that would be better if there was maybe some more highlights in the back here or something like that. Yeah, I think that will be it for tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.